friends and the panelists. First of all, let me thank CEE, Bhai Kartikeya, for inviting me to
Use the laptop.
for inviting me to be here and allow me to share my ideas, which are not different, but maybe. Let me also first make clear that my worldview on all subjects is basically that of the poor, women, self-employed, and since education is the major theme, let me also in the beginning say one comment on education, and that is that those who lead the world today are challenged by one rather fundamental and global issue. There are fewer and fewer resources, and there is greater and greater competition to get access to them. Prevalent economic theory guiding corporate and national management says that healthy corporations and nations must keep growing their revenues and GDPs, and that within them individuals must keep earning more and more. This drive to produce more and consume more is driving us to fight over increasingly scarce resources. We are literally swallowing up our Mother Earth. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking that brought us to these problems. Therefore, it is high time we question the value of economic and management models based on an inherently false and destructive concept, I may say. Having said that, I do consider that sustainable development goals now being identified and broadened and made more open for discussion, that this such workshops are the best steps towards a struggle, worthwhile one, to think ahead and for a peaceful, sustainable future. With this regard, I talk about education and women's work. Our view of education needs to be reviewed. Let us see education as a lifelong pursuit for both adults as well as children, and not limit to school years or end it with university degrees. 12 years of constant schooling is too difficult for those who need to grow up fast to begin contributing to the family finances. Our current education system must include trade schools that prepare children to enter the workforce with good usable skills besides literacy, good usable skills that leads to building the nation. Useful education must be relevant to daily life as well as to future life. It must both inspire and equip. Education must address the needs of both family and the globe. It must equip us to become aware of our role in the economy, as producers and as consumers, also of our role in society as peacemakers as well as agents of change, and also about our rights and duties as responsible global citizens. When we say education for life, what we call Nirantar Shiksha. It should bring to mind the knowledge we need to build a life that is creative, cooperative, and filled with happiness. Also, we need to recognize that adulthood is a prime time to learn new ideas, new skills, and pursue new knowledge. With the experience that comes from work and the wisdom that comes with age, adult minds are far more in need of new concepts and at some times to ignore the old ones, new technologies and new methods, and have a greater ability to test and put them to good or better use. Work and task specific innovation. Work-related, task-related specific innovations are more likely to result in economic benefits, and they would not just be confined to certain industries and university departments with the R&D, research and development capabilities, but spread all types of trades and all strata of society and at all local levels. In my experience, women are the key to building a community and maintaining it. When we invest in women's participation, we have an ally who wants a stable community and roots for her family, for her children. Each woman is a worker, of course, has productive work in her hands. True. But also, she is also a provider, a caretaker, an educator, a networker, and a vital forger of bonds in a community. Moreover, I have noted women's participation brings constructive, creative, and sustainable solutions to the community. I consider women's participation and representation an integral part of building stable, peaceful communities. If I mention about Seva's experience, so based on that, what we have found the most is three major factors that play a key role to the lives of the villages: the need for cash, indebtedness, and need to build a better skill base. Despite growing vegetable and milk, they are not in a position to consume what they produce. Need for cash is greater than nutrition, their own primary needs. The spiral of debt is wrapped so tight around their lives. It subsumes all their hard-earned money that impedes their ability to own assets. Good harvest gets swallowed up into paying debts. There are few opportunities to upgrade their existing skills or new skills. Absolutely almost none. Therefore, steady flow source of cash, ownership, and better skills of many of the broken links of Anuban in rural areas can be reconnected through SDGs. Secondly, community approach to solving rural problems like access to water, healthcare, banking, builds multilateral relationships within the community and with neighborhoods. It is possible to create such a world, and there are good pockets in our country who have made it possible to sustain their communities in at least basically in their basic primary needs of life, of survival. Thank you.